All right, the 250 post-race press conference from the Indianapolis Supercross. Congratulations, Jet Lawrence, Cameron McAdoo, and R.J. Hampshire. Jet, I'll start with you. We talked about it on the podium a little bit, just the show that you and Cameron put on up front. It was awesome. A lot of back and forth, good battling. Just kind of take us through just the way you processed it early, mid, and then late there, because it looked like you made some pretty distinct decisions kind of as you went along.
I mean, yeah, at the start, I sucked at the start. Cameron was, he was on definitely a different, a lot faster pace at the start, which I could feel that because every turn I could feel him there. So I'm like, okay, he's doing obviously something. I mean, it was pretty clear he was skimming the whoops. I was already scared. I started jumping at the start. I'm like, oh gosh, this ain't good. But no, the whoops were actually not too bad. So yeah, we had a really good battle. I mean, I had fun with that because we both had the respect for each other to race clean. I mean, we'll get close to each other, but our intention is never to take each other out. So that's always fun to like kind of race someone like that and know that, oh crap, is he gonna hit me and take me down this time? So it's that was really fun, I felt like. And I mean, at the start, like I said, Cameron rode so good that like even he got me and got me out of it. I'm like, damn it, I don't like this. I'm like, I got to get a bit closer to him so I have some type of chance. And he ended up getting, those lappers were pretty gnarly tonight, and ended up getting some type of luck with that. But I mean, I think we both had like some good luck, bad luck with lappers and that, because they were pretty gnarly. And I mean, the track is so rutted tonight. Like it was like kind of, we were following each other in a lot of turns just because that was the best line in that turn. So it was a fun race. I mean, I had a blast. I think even if I got second, I mean, Cameron rode phenomenal. I mean, it was awesome. It was a really good fun race.
After the whoops corner, that rhythm, you were having some problems there about the first half. Even you had a big one about halfway through. What was that like for you? And then the decision on which line to take, because it seemed like both were kind of causing problems at times.
I mean, yeah, I think we both were thinking if we can at least get that clean each time, because it was so hard to get that rhythm, because we know if we could get triple and then get the quad after, it was a good few tenths on each other. And I know if one of us clipped it or cased it and not got the quad, it was some good breathing room. And I think I cased it once behind him because I was kind of changing my line because I followed him and got all sketchy and doubled. So it was, I tried changing my line and I cased it. And then I got out in front, and I'm like, okay, I got to go get a bit of a safety gap, and tried it again and case it even harder. So I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing double 3 on tonight. So it was tricky, which I like that with the track changing like that. It kind of make you think a lot more instead of like if it's a more hard pack track where you can get everything easily each lap, where you just kind of click off same lap times and don't have to change anything. I think it makes more exciting racing because you have to adapt to that rhythm quickly and be able to hit it each lap.
Congratulations. Good ride. Jason Wygant.
Yeah, thanks, Jason, for Racer X. I'll go to you, Cameron. What's the mentality like when you're chasing and then you're gaining and then you get the lead and then you almost start extending the lead at one point? Are you able to keep your cool through that and just race your laps, or do you start thinking about how the race is unfolding and that you might get the win?
Yeah, I mean, especially that early on, you really can't think about the win or getting the win. You got to definitely go through the process, especially with the way the track was tonight with the ruts, and like it changed so much each lap. So I think if you start thinking about winning 7 laps in when there's 22 laps, like that's not going to lead to any success. But like Jet said, like the rhythm after the finish or after the whoops was super critical. And once he got by me, I think I stuck to trying to go 3 out of the turn too many times and missed it every time instead of just maybe racing the 2-3 on to the tabletop, and that was pretty important. I know one lap he cased the triple out of the turn really hard, and I was really hoping I was going to be able to get it, and I didn't. So, like, yeah, I mean, lappers were tough tonight. We both had to navigate them, and I think Jet definitely navigated them better than I did. And but yeah, to answer your question, mentality was just to race forward the whole time, and at least put a battle up. So we did that, and came up a little bit short, but we're going to keep trying.
David Iser.
Thanks, Daniel. Well, Jet, this one's for you. I don't think I've ever seen anybody come all the way back from a crash in the first heat race and win the heat race. Did that help maybe lessen the pressure for you on the gnarly track for the night, or did that make you more cautious the rest of the night?
I mean, It's hard to tell because, I mean, the first turn's always gnarly. And, I mean, I can't really blame anyone on that because it's the first turn. I mean, everyone's going in there. They can see the first turn. They think they have it. So everyone's going hard. I mean, it was a sucky situation, but, I mean, that's racing. And I think it kind of helped me find different lines, I could say, coming through knowing, okay, I could maybe get someone here, like kind of learning the track more because when you're out front, you just kind of stick to your main lines and don't really think as much because you're just hitting your main line, especially that early in the night because the track ain't as rough as the main event. So I think it was good. It kind of helped me towards the main in case I have not good start or I'm behind someone. So I think that definitely helped me out. And I mean, I was very grateful that I was able to get back to the first position. I mean, I think if Brown didn't crash, I think I would have been second for the heat race. But I mean, sadly, Brown went down. It was a bit of lady luck for me, but hated seeing that crash. It was thankfully walked away from that one because that one was pretty nice. So hopefully he's good to race obviously next weekend and back to his full health. But no, I think it kind of helped me out a little bit more so for the main event, you could say, with going down and coming through and passing people.
All right. Have I noticed some new eyebrow art you're bringing to Supercross?
Yeah, how'd that happen, Jet?
I fell asleep while I was shaving. I was going to go with that. Actually, no, I in the crash, instead of taking my visor off, it took me eyebrow.
No, that's not what happened.
Yeah, it did. Foot peg got me.
You need to commit and go full Vanilla Ice. If we're going to do this, you need to go all the way and do this.
Did he have it on both sides? Or was this... I know Vanilla Ice, but...
You know who Vanilla Ice is?
Yeah, I know who he is.
You guys wear the same pants.
Oh, we do? Must have good taste in fashion.
Michael Lindsay.
Back to you one more time here, Jet. Whoop section night. You talked about the first couple laps, jumping through them, trying to figure out what you're going to do. Racing Cameron. Cameron's pretty infamous for being fifth gear wide in whoops. He's really strong in them. What did it take you to get those kind of figured out as the main went along? Was it just literally growing a pair, or did you have to change up your technique, find the right line as it was breaking down, V down? Did you prefer to find a high line or go down a V rut, or what do you kind of look for when you're trying to figure that out?
Yeah, I mean, I started off with jumping, and then I seen once Cameron got around me skimming, I'm like, okay, damn, I got to do this now, because they were. I wasn't quite sure if how edgy they were. So, but I mean, I watched him go through, and he was hitting them really good consistently. I'm like, okay, obviously that's the line, and I kind of followed him for those few laps and found the same line. I was like, okay, this is a good line to take. I mean, if you have no one in front of you, I mean. Everyone knows Cameron is in the fifth gear, giving it the berries through the whoop. So and you can tell he gets that whoop speed up. So it's obviously it makes it more fun. I feel like for me because it's and there's not as many people very fast in the whoops on a 250 because it is so difficult. And I think definitely Cam and I went up there for one of the faster whoop 250 riders, so it makes it more exciting because most of the time you're like, oh, I can get him in the whoops or something like that, but it makes it more for fun racing. But yeah, you could say I had to grow a set and kind of skimming through the main after jumping the first few laps.
Michael Antonovich.
Cool, thanks, Daniel. RJ, this one's for you. After the season we've had so far, does this result feel good? Does this feel like something you should have had a long time ago? Is it kind of bittersweet? Where are you at with this one?
I mean, honestly, it was another night of survival. Like, that main event was ugly again. But honestly, we were just trying to get out of here with the podium. I had another weekend showing up, not really trusting the bike or really knowing what it was going to do. We've been changing a lot, trying to find something just to give me some comfort back. And, I mean, you can tell I'm not all there yet, not trusting it with these two guys through the whoops. Like, that's all trust and confidence and kind of knowing what your bike's going to do. And right now, I'm not there, which is good that we had this little break now. So we made some progress last week with it. I just haven't had enough time on it. Like today was the first day on it. So get a couple good weeks in, and yeah, hopefully we show up at St. Louis and we're better.
Cool, thank you.
Nick, Moto Limited.
Thanks, DB. Yep, let's go back to RJ. RJ, with the motorcycle, you're saying not so much about trusting it. Is it a chassis thing? Is it a suspension thing? Is it just you guys didn't have that much time on the bike before racing started? What's the main factors that you are struggling with the bike?
I mean, man, it's a whole package. Like, yeah, we got it in December. I wasn't comfortable from the beginning. We tried to figure some things out before we went racing, which is why I raced the East Coast, and thought we had it a little bit figured out. And then once we showed up around one, we knew we weren't there. And then it was just kind of chasing ourselves from there. Like, we actually were focusing more on a chassis issue, or just trying to change the chassis for me to, make it more comfortable. And we actually found out that something else was kind of causing a bit more of a problem than what we thought. So that's what we figured out this week. And when the whoops were good, I actually felt like I had pretty good traction and drive through them. But man, I kind of set my bike up for the whoops that we have been having, and that was not the case tonight. So we were kind of back to square one and just get through the night. But I mean, for how it's been, the first 4 rounds, just to get out here with the podium, and for how hard the team's kind of been working to figure this thing out, it was much needed.
Appreciate the honesty. Thanks, mate.
Mitch Kendra.
Hey, Mitch Kendra from Racer X. Go to Jet for this one. Kind of like we asked a little bit earlier about the mentality and stuff. So when Cameron passes you, like in that main event, I guess what's your mindset of like, how do you kind of stay in it and stay cool and not override it and, panic and make a pass into something worse and crash out of it? Like kind of, I guess, how do you stay mentally in it and then be able to make, passes and come back through that? Can you just talk about that a little bit?
The mentality kind of changes to, okay, what's he doing better here now? So it kind of, I mean, even once he got me, I made a few more mistakes with that casing that 3 in, then casing another triple. So I was a bit all over the place. I made a couple mistakes, but once he got me, it was kind of seeing, okay, where is he better at and where am I better at, kind of thing, to kind of know, hey, if I can just get close enough to make, or just put a front wheel or show a fender somewhere to where it might put him off his fast line more into defending. And it kind of was more like, when I was out front, I was more kind of just focused on hitting my lines, but once he got me, it was kind of more into, okay, where is he better at? And that's probably what I was mainly thinking of. And then obviously once I found out where he's better, where I was better, it was kind of just figuring out where to kind of how to make a pass happen in the sections I'm better than, and where he's better than me.
And then you kind of talked a little bit about jumping through the whoops versus blitzing through the whoops. I guess what's the decision making when you kind of decide to do that? Is it, do you just go from jumping the same line, or do you pick a different line? Maybe avoid the ruts when you're trying to blitz it, or can you just talk a little bit about that, like going down the middle versus left and right and stuff like that?
Yeah, in the middle is the whoops are pretty rutted, and I mean I tried jumping because I thought they might be pretty laid down where I can kind of get that forward momentum, but just skimming them at a decent pace was apparently still the faster way, and Cameron had a really nice line on that far left side that I seen, and ended up following him on that line. So it was just kind of picking where was the safest. If I get a little off balance, where's my go-to safety line where it couldn't end my night with hitting a tough block or missing a whoop.
Awesome, thanks.
Thank you.
Trent, Moto Limited.
Thanks, DB. Trent Moto Limited. I'm going to stick with Jet. And everyone's been asking the same sort of questions, but mine's more about last year. Last year in this stadium, you had some big crashes and sort of knocked you out of the championship hunt for last year. And then after the turn 1 crash, were you getting up thinking, this is not my stadium, because it was kind of trending the wrong direction?
No. I mean, I didn't think that. It was probably more so I'm going to make this my stadium. I mean, I think as soon as you think that, oh, this is not my stadium, it kind of makes it more, it's already defeats you mentally, I feel like, the track. So it was kind of hot running back to the bike. Okay, is everything okay? Am I okay? And this kind of radio, this is how it starts. Let's see where we get to, and see how many positions we can get up to, and save not so much damage. So no, I mean, last year sucked a lot here, but hey, I mean, I think you got to have those lessons. I mean, they're harsh, but I think it just shows that I wasn't ready last year for a championship where Colt and Christian were. They were a lot more smarter with their decisions. I was just being still a little kid, just trying to go all out each race, which wasn't smart. So I think this stadium here is special because it really showed that I've learned from last year, I could feel like, and this is obviously the place where I felt like it turned me to go stop being an idiot and just sending it each time, because otherwise you're going to end up in a hospital bed either every weekend or maybe for life. So yeah.
Thanks, man.
Go back to David Iser and then Kellen Brower. If you got one, be after Iser.
Thanks, Daniel. Cameron, this one's for you. Some great progress in the last 2 weeks. You finally got a jump and a start with Jet. You're halfway there. What's missing to finish these mains out?
I mean, if I had it exactly, I would have done it tonight. No, but honestly, just being able to navigate through better towards that midway. Like we caught into lappers so early, and like you guys saw last weekend, Pierce and I got benefit from the lappers. And it's hard. Like, it's tough to get by those guys, and they're battling for position as well. So just navigating those guys better and just hitting the main lines every time. Once Jet got by me, I was really struggling with the rhythm lane after the whoops, and that was like pretty critical to be good in. And he stayed locked in really well for those from like maybe 9 to 13 minutes of the main, and that was kind of the deal breaker, where I kind of let him get a little bit of some breathing room, and I'm sure he could kind of see me coming out of the 180s and knew that he had some space and could ride his lines and stuff, and I just need to come through those guys better and stay in it every single lap.
With the short lap times, knowing lappers were going to be an issue, even RC mentioned this on the broadcast. Did you pass Jet too soon? Should you maybe let it play out where since the leaders usually get caught up more in the lappers?
No, you got to pass when you can pass. Like, especially with how well Jet's riding. If I had an opportunity to pass him, I needed to take it, and I did. And I honestly probably tried a little too early. I don't know if everyone saw, but after the triple, when I went inside and I should have known better than that. He was going to cut back underneath me. Like, I was honestly pretty bummed and embarrassed on myself. Like, I really got outsmarted there, and that was pretty dumb. So, but yeah, no, you got to pass if you can pass. You want to be the leader.
Dude, he caught you so bad. He was looking back. You were busted on that move.
Yeah,
but,
that was honestly the first thing Mitch said when he got back to the truck. He's like, "What were you doing there?" And I was like, "Dude, I was going down the straightaway thinking, what was I doing right there? That was not smart. Like, he really outsmarted me. That was dumb."
All right, thanks for the good answer.
Kellen Brower and then Michael Lindsay, last one.
Yeah, thanks, Kellen Brower with Racetracks. I'm going to go back to Cameron and kind of stick with this theme of lap traffic. I just wanted to ask, kind of, can you talk about the challenge of not either ending up on the outside or stuck by lap riders? Like you're saying, you're trying to stay in your lines and hit your marks, but also, you have to defend with Jet back there, and, just talk about not getting caught out in the wrong spot by them.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Like, there's certain areas of the track where you can get by them pretty easily. Probably one being the whoops, but at the same time, like Jet said, in the very middle, the first 3 whoops had just straight ruts in them, so it was really hard to skim them there. And most of the lappers that we got into, we would get into them 3 at a time, and those guys are battling too. Like I said, they're battling for position, and they're doing their best, but they're also trying to get out of the way, and a lot of it's just picking your spot and staying in your line and hoping that the lapper does stay in their line too. Like, sometimes it's not by choice. Like, I've been lapped before and been sketchy too. So, it's a lot about just sticking to a line that is doable fast every time, and that was kind of what I was searching for after Jet got by me. I think I was trying to do the best line, the fastest line, where I should have just maybe done what I could do consistently each time.
Awesome, thank you.
Michael.
Hey, last question is for RJ Hampshire. As Nick stated, definitely appreciate the honesty on the bike, and I kind of had another bike follow-up question for you. We've been riding on the media side, the new stock Husky this week. It has a very different engine character than the outgoing bike. I'm not necessarily saying better or worse. It's just very different. I know you said talking about trying to trust the bike and some of it not being chassis. At your guys' level, again, trust in how the bike responds is pretty important. Has any of it been engine character for you guys, or has at the factory level, are you guys just pretty much dialed in there?
No, and it's a new bike, so I feel like a lot of guys go through this, or a lot of teams go through this. Like, it's nothing new, and it's just learning, the characteristics. Like you said, it's a lot different than our old bike. Like, it's much different where the weight's at, how it rides. It's tough to give you an exact answer, just because I was kind of our test guy for this bike. Like, we don't necessarily have someone that's dedicated just to this 250. So we were, trying a lot of things, and that's kind of what we have to do right now. Like, we don't really know what the exact answer is. And, it's not just the bike. Like, it's my riding too. Like you said, once I trust the bike, I should be able to at least battle with these guys. But like for tonight, I had to just stick with what I could do. And that's literally was it. Like, I never went 3-4 after the whoops in the main, and I was doing that all day, but I just knew I could do that every lap, so that's what I did. I didn't even attempt to blitz the whoops, because that probably wouldn't have ended pretty good, or good. It's learning, getting some time on it. We made progress, and like I said, these guys are working hard on it, so we'll I'm pretty confident we'll be better whenever we come back here in St. Louis.
Again, thanks for the honesty.
All right, guys, thank you. Congratulations, and we'll see you in a few weeks in St. Louis. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.